What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the After Effect Podcast. I am your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LBZ, L Boogie, Big Brian, B Ron, whatever you choose. Welcome to episode 33 of the After Effect Podcast. We have a very special guest. Byron Wilson is on this show today. Ohio native, played football and attended HBCU, Alabama A&M University, had an illustrious career there, got an opportunity with the Washington Redskins out of college where he did his thing, ultimately ended up getting cut, played for several CFL teams, arena football teams, and now is a successful entrepreneur, uh, holds several different companies, the most popular one being Lion. Let me make sure I got this right. Lions Den Beard Collection, uh, luxury beard oils for all my bearded men out there, including me. I gotta tap in with him. Yeah, so just sent him the link and waiting for him to jump on, and we will go in. Hey man, I appreciate you carving out the time, man. I know you're busy. I know you're a super busy man, bro.
Man, I ain't doing that, man. I'm just no, I appreciate you for having me, man. I see you doing big things with the show, man, and I'm definitely proud of you, man. We go back to Green Bay and Rossi days.
Hey. You already know. You already know, bro. So like I was telling you, man, I call this the After Effect Podcast. I feel like, we've been doing this shit for 20 plus years. We got a lot of experience. And I feel like us as athletes, man, we all have an after effect, an aftershock of just all of our experience, from the wins and the losses and the injuries and disparities and nepotism and the politics, just all these years of experience culminated into a circle, man. We got so much knowledge, and I feel like I wanted to create my own platform for us to share those stories, share those experiences, and really just try to push the culture forward. Whatever missteps that we made, maybe try to let the next generation know, that, and ensure that they don't make those same mistakes.
Absolutely, I think that's really big that you providing that platform to really give it to the youth, man, because I know, and you probably can attest to this too, like we had a lot of the information that we got now.
Yeah.
Back then, like,
yeah,
man, we might still be playing right now, like to this day.
exactly.
like legit.
Exactly.
So, man, that's dope, man, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, man. But before, I always feel like we was more than athletes, man. So before I dive into your childhood and us Ohio boys, just all that, let me just get your take on just a couple current events, man. So I know it's early, it's only like week 10, but who do you have winning the Super Bowl and why?
Ooh, man, it's I like KC again, man. I like KC again.
I'm getting that a lot.
The way that, man, their offense look, it just look like it's just a well-oiled machine, man. Like,
exactly.
It ain't nothing.
Especially what we just saw. Especially what we just said versus Tampa Bay.
Come on now. And they was arguably supposed to be one of the top defenses in the league.
Exactly. And made it look easy.
Man, what? And then I feel bad for my guy at corner, Tyreek. He just had his way all game long.
I think he had 13 for 269 and 3 touchdowns. Like, you went crazy.
Man, you lying.
No, everything, bro. Pat Mahomes threw for like 460. And Tariq Hill had like 269. Like, he went stupid. You understand me?
and they have one of the best defensive lines and linebacking cores in the league.
Man, Patrick Mahomes, I think he's just developing at such a crazy rate. Like I think this is only year 3 for him, but he like the way he's reading defenses is just unparalleled, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And just think about how he came in. Like, he was coming in the league doing no-look passes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like year 2.
Exactly.
Year 2.
It's funny that you say the Chiefs, man, because we both Ohio boys. So obviously, every time the Chiefs play, I try to watch them closely because Frank Clark, man. He went to the Ville, then he played at Michigan. I know him personally because I'm a lot older than him, but I kind of just live vicariously through him. You know, he won a Super Bowl last year. He in that 5-5. He's had so much success, and he just kind of got that Ohio sauce, like, you know what I mean? So I enjoy really watching him, doing thing out there. And I mean, now I know we both Ohio boys, man. So I grew up a Browns fan. So
right.
And I know this probably won't happen, but I would love to see the Browns and the Chiefs at least in the AFC Championship. Now we both know that the Browns probably don't got nothing for the Chiefs, or it'll probably be the Chiefs and the Steelers. But if the Browns can at least make the playoffs, man, you know Ohio is a football state.
Come on, man, you already know.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for that. I'm glad they got the win today. So hey, man, I know the NBA starts back on December 22nd, exactly 71 days after the Lakers won the NBA championship. What's your take on that, bro? Do you think that's enough time for them to rest? Do you think they should wait until 2021? Now, I know that they got 45 months off, because of COVID. So what's your take on that ultimately?
I think it's kind of like it's a slippery slope, because it's like, for the people that didn't make it to the playoffs, they got more than enough time of rest. But the people that actually went deep into the playoffs, such as the Lakers, such as OKC, all of these different teams that actually got to play in the meat and potatoes of the playoffs, it's kind of a slippery slope. But I think they need to really maybe, like, in the beginning stages of the season, not make the games being back to back to back. Maybe just kind of spacing out the games, but yet still starting on time, but not having as a lengthy schedule in the beginning. So
I definitely agree with that. And it's already like rumblings going around the league that all the guys that played in the NBA finals, like the Lakers and the Heat, like if they have any back-to-backs, the starters for sure won't play any back-to-backs. They'll definitely sit out. And I really think that's fair, especially when you come back from a championship and come back in essentially 2 months and play a whole season again. But from the fan side of it, we've been watching basketball. Can you imagine Christmas without without NBA basketball?
I know.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would definitely like to see it, and I mean, anybody that enjoys basketball, they definitely want to see it. But again, I think it's just about them really creating a schedule that's making it comfortable for the players and not really beating them up. You know what I'm saying, for that season.
Exactly.
Because as we've seen, like, it's been so many different injuries. Like, it's just because it's too much. It's too much going on. So
exactly. Bro. So let me ask you this, man. Today is, it's almost December. We're literally almost 9-10 months in this global pandemic. How have you grown spiritually, emotionally, physically? I mean, I think especially us as Black men, we've had to pivot in so many different ways and take in so much information just from, the racial injustices. And, we Black, so we've been experiencing these kind of things our whole life. And it's finally like coming on the forefront. And people are finally starting to understand how it is to be Black or to be a Black man. So, like, just give me your take. How have you grown just, in these last 9 months?
For me, when anybody asks me the question about, pandemic and all that stuff, the biggest thing that stands out to me is evolve. Like, everybody has had to evolve off of the pandemic, whether you had to find another hustle, create another source of income, find another opportunity that's going to be better for you while this whole pandemic is going on. You also got to stay, faith driven. You got to, whatever you believe in. I'm pretty sure everybody's relationship has grown, regardless of whatever your religion was. Everybody's probably grown a lot closer. I know I have.
Definitely.
And, just staying. And actually, I'm going to be doing a fitness competition in February. So a physique position. So I definitely had to be more consistent with that. Working out day in and day out, wearing a damn waist trainer.
Trying
to eating out of meal prep containers every day. So
gotta lose that fat.
I had to evolve, man. Like, mentally, spiritually, and physically, man. And that really basically sums up my COVID experience, for real.
Definitely, man. And I can be honest and transparent with you, bro. Seeing you, obviously, I know that you had launched your Go Shoppers Ohio some years ago. But
Yeah.
seeing you launch, your Lions Den beard collection, and to be, honestly, to see it flourish, it's kind of put a battery in my back to kind of try to figure out what I'm good at, or what I'm passionate about. Like you say, just create another revenue stream within something that you're passionate about. And
Right.
I talked about this with a few of my other homies. I think it's big, especially us as black men. It's big. Like, I think that we're more visual learners. So it's when we see one of our homies be able to start a business, or start a business through brick and mortar or something online,
Right.
it makes us feel like it's attainable. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So to see you do that, that's kind of put a battery in my back to really try to focus on what I'm good at, what I'm passionate about, and try to monetize it. And I'm looking to do that early in 2021. So, man, I appreciate your hustle, and just you being able to identify
I
that.
appreciate you, man, because I mean, like, yeah, and I appreciate you. I mean, like, just even from the, the applause and the good looking, and you doing your thing, like, that stuff go a long way. And like, and vice versa, like, whatever it is you decide to do, like, you got to have people around you that support you,
Right.
and just want to see you win, you know what I'm saying, without having no feeling like they got to have, be invested, you know what I'm saying? They literally just genuinely want to see you win.
Exactly. Just genuine support.
Yeah, and it goes a long way, man. And it's like, it just goes a long way for sure.
Exactly,
and,
man.
And I just see you do your thing with your commercials and TV shows
just
and all
that stuff. Yeah,
and I be over there like, that's my dog. Like, let me share this, do this.
Right. It's a journey.
I'm just proud of everything you did, man, for sure.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you. Last take, man, before you dive me your childhood, and I know you will probably have a lot to say about this because you were HBCU grad. What is your take on somebody so deeply and richly influential like Deion Sanders deciding to change the narrative and take on being a head coach at Jackson State at the HBCU? In my opinion, I think that he is a true visionary, because what a lot of people don't truly pay attention to is that he worked for ESPN and the NFL Network for 13 and 15 years. So he know those showrunners. He know those producers.
Absolutely.
He'll be able to get those meetings to possibly get those Jackson State games on ESPN2 or
Absolutely.
just those contracts for that exposure for the guys, man. So, and I know you probably was like salivating over when he made that decision, because you were a proud HBCU member. So just give me your take on that, bro.
Man, honestly, I think it's going to be a shift in HBCUs, man. I can see HBCUs being like, eventually a couple of them maybe shifting towards like a true Division I.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a tide wave coming. I totally agree.
It's definitely. And the fact that, all of these, top Power 5 school guys are transferring to this Division, AA school, and it's HBCU by the name of Jackson State. It's going to be, like you said, a real big tidal wave, man, because again, it's going to probably be another, former pro athlete that's going to take a head coaching job at, another HBCU, and then they're going to have a following. And then, they get the right assistant coaches in, and maybe, was a former coach, just like they were saying, like, they was going to get T.O. and
Warren Sapp.
Sapp. Like, just imagine if, you go sit in somebody's living room and you play defensive end, right? And they like, Warren Sapp is going to be your coach.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's so funny. I interview a couple DBs, from Cleveland, Donnie Fletcher, Jordan Maven, guys that played in the league a few years, DBs. Yeah. And I asked him, like, bro, imagine if Deion Sanders comes in your living room and says, hey, I want you to play in my backfield next year. They said, man, I'm signing. I don't care if it's Jackson State, Appalachian State,
I seen it.
Central State. It don't matter where he at. Deion is the best to ever do it. Like, it's going to be so many top tier guys that's going to just go there just off the strength of him being there. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I think like HBCUs always had the talent, but I think the thing that always kept them from being at an elite status is the facilities.
Right.
Like
right.
I started at University of Toledo.
Okay.
So like I went to Toledo and then went to JUCO. Then I was actually supposed to go to Alabama, but my grades ain't work. So then I went Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
Night and day. Facilities, like even from Toledo to Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
Night and day of facilities, like night and day. You know what I'm saying? So like when you go and you going on these different visits and you go to, you know what I'm saying, like I was getting recruited by like a lot of schools. So I went to, for example, I go to, I'm trying to think of, man. So Purdue. So I go to Purdue. Their facilities versus, you know, they probably got like 3,000 square foot, 4,000 square foot weight room facility.
Right.
That's almost probably cut in half.
Right.
At Alabama A&M.
You know that. Yep.
And they ain't even got, you know, your supplements, your meal plans, your own facilities.
Yeah, your own cafeteria and all that. Yeah.
So if I'm going to a Power 5 school visit and then I go to an HBCU visit, now that the whole kicking experience is going to be different.
Yeah, night and day.
Night and day. But as far as facilities and like, you know, that whole piece, that's going to really, you know, that's what going to probably push me towards a Power 5 as opposed to HBCU.
Yeah.
And I think that's really just the main thing that really prevents HBCUs from really being top tier.
Yeah. And
just the funding.
And what I found out about that is like all these big schools, they're able to have, you know, the top facilities because, you know, they get in these bowl games and whether you win or lose, you earn money for your school. Like I remember in 2009, we played in the BCS Orange Bowl. We played Georgia Tech. We ended up winning. So I think we earned the school $15 million that year, and Georgia Tech, even though they lost, they won their school $10 million. And so that's how they're able to continue to, you know, advance and get these facilities. So I think coming from an HBCU perspective, obviously, if they're not getting into those big bowls, I think, you know, starting off, they're probably just, I would presume, have to get like some major donations, you know, from different.
But I'm gonna tell you like how Jackson State is gonna be very successful, and why their facilities is gonna start probably going over the top is if Jackson State can start getting on them Division I schedules. Yeah, they gonna start getting them big checks just for playing them. Yeah. So that's gonna really start putting them in the direction to really start being successful and really start seeing money coming in. Because if I know, like we played like a lower tier Division I school, we played like Louisiana Lafayette. Okay. And they cut the school like a $400,000 check just for us playing them. Wow. So like,
so that's where it's at.
Jackson State
getting those big games,
you know, getting in these top tier games. Now they about to start really making that money. Definitely. And then it's going to really start turning the, you know, and then now too, exposure. You know, if you play, if Jackson State is playing Iowa and it's even a remotely close game, you getting exposure, you get money. Now people like, I can go to Jackson State and be on TV with Iowa. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm going. I'm going.
I'm so excited about it, bro, because and I know you can attest to this because you've been in it for a long time, but you know, once I moved to Atlanta, you know, I had never been to Atlanta before I moved here. So you know, I had never experienced the Black educational culture. Like I went to a predominantly white school coming from the inner city of Cleveland. And I remember I went to Hampton for a week on my spring break in 2010. One of my childhood friends went to Hampton and graduated from there. And I damn near lost my mind, bro, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's how it was.
It's the first time. Yeah, I had never saw, like, successful, like, brilliant, pretty, beautiful Black women driving Range Rovers and Benzes and Beamers. That was my age, 19, 20. That was from California, from New York, and from Miami, but was smart, was all it was about their schoolwork. Like, it was so, man, it changed my whole diaspora of what I thought about college. And I was only there literally for a week. You know what I mean? And so I know you can attest to that because, you know, you actually graduated from HBCU, man. So I think that HBCUs just are more tighter knit. Like when you graduate, I feel like the alumni and the older mentors, they like genuinely want you to win. And they'll try to do everything. They'll try to do any and everything they can do to put you in position to win.
It is. And I'm glad you said that because I feel like and I don't know if you can attest to this, but I know I can. I feel like when I was playing sports and really being in that type of atmosphere, like I didn't really utilize the network that I should have while I was playing. You know, it's a lot of networks that if you just, you know, it's people that's really making moves and it's like, man, if I'd have really utilized that network while I had it,
Yeah.
I definitely would have been a lot further off. But I'm getting back to really using that network, that alumni network, the HBCU network,
right?
And really just go ahead and really go in there and meeting a lot of great people, man, to help you grow and what you gotta do.
And like you said, man, I think it's definitely trial and error. But for me, going to a predominantly white school, I just felt like personally, and I can only vouch for what I saw in my own eyes. I felt like I didn't get a vibe that the coaches and the alumni really wanted me to win, or would really put me in position to win. Like I reached out to a few older mentors or
No, that's
older
how it was for me at
professors.
Toledo.
Okay.
That's how it was at me at Toledo. It's the same way.
Yeah.
It's really more like when you get into like, programs that's successful, like it's really like a business. Like they can tell you all that what they want to tell you.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, when they have a certain standard that they're being held to, like it's all about a business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. Like, now if you go ahead and graduate and be successful, that's great. I'm proud of you. But at the end of the day, I'm here to win these games. Because if I don't win these games,
I'm gonna lose my job.
You ain't gonna be there. I ain't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So
it's definitely
a business. Like,
yep, it's definitely a big business. I can definitely attest to that, man. So yeah, bro. So let's dive into your childhood. I did some research on you, and so did you grow up in Cleveland or Warren, Ohio, or
both?
Okay.
Both.
So you were born in Warren?
So I was born in Warren.
Okay.
Grew up in like Cleveland and Warren. I bounced back and forth between like growing up in off St. Clair and growing up off like 90-30 miles and also in Warren too.
Okay.
So I bounced back and forth. I actually was about to went to the Ville for like a hot set.
Yeah.
Coach Andrews left.
Okay, Coach Drews. Okay.
Yeah, Coach Drews left, and then I went rocked out with him, and then that was it. Then left there, went to Toledo.
Okay.
Went there for like a year and a half. Left, had a kid. Left. Went to JUCO. Was about to sign back Division I. Then I ended up going to A&M.
Okay. So, just growing up in Warren and kind of like matriculating back and forth from Warren to Cleveland, I think that's like a 45 or hour-minute drive. Did you have any mentors or influences growing up that kind of like kept you on that straight and narrow? Because as we both know, growing up in the inner city of Cleveland or growing up in the inner city of Warren, you already know you either into sports or you in them streets. So did you have any mentors or influences that kind of kept you on that straight and narrow?
Man, for real, man, it was so hard to stay straight and narrow. Like sports was the only thing to keep you on straight and narrow, because it was like that's all it was. It was either be in the streets, like you said, or play ball. So it was just really like just playing ball and staying active, man. I think like me playing sports and around sports, that's what really kind of kept me out of trouble. But like everybody had a little trouble skits,
of course,
here and there. But
of course,
for me, it was really just staying in sports, man. Playing basketball, football, whatever.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like, I wanted to shout out Coach again, man, because I'm gonna tell you a quick story. So I was in Toledo, and I was already like, man, Toledo ain't it. It's too close to the crib.
Yeah.
I'm getting in trouble. And I'm going to give you this exact story of what happened. So go to the track meet. You know Antoine, right? Antoine Molden. He went to the Ville.
Yeah.
So we went to go see the Ville run state. And this was when Rob, this was probably when y'all wasn't, you came on Rob, right?
No, I came the year after Rob. Rob was before me.
Okay, so this was Rob in them senior year. And actually, man, this is like when the Ville was like crazy in track, like
powerhouse. Ray Small, Ray Fisher.
This is how crazy the Ville was. They had their shirts already printed that they was winning state before they got done with the track meet. So we go, and like I talked to Coach again. I actually got two stories about Coach Gaines, but the first one is when we was at the track meet, he was like, "Man, how you doing? You straight?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know where I'm gonna go to school." And the first thing he said, "Man, I can get you into HBCU right now." Mm-hmm. He was like, "I can get you into Grambling, I can get you into da-da-da-da." And to see somebody go ahead and just have that much faith in you to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, and be able to make them calls and be able to to lend that hand to help, man. That was real big for me, man. And that really motivated me to like be like, okay, I still can do this football thing. Like, okay, I got a kid, but I still can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
the second story, man, when I knew Coach Ginn, I was like, man, he got some juice. So freshman year, I leave with Antoine. We go Coach Ginn's house. I see Iowa, Michigan State, Ohio State, Purdue in his basement watching football on a Sunday, just chilling in the crib.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like, and they all got their shit on, like they all got their little warm ups on, and I'm like, this man got some juice, like,
oh, bro,
for real,
bro. I'm telling you,
and it blew my mind, man.
I'm telling you.
And again, like, man, I still talk to him, and now, you know, he's my frat brother now.
Yeah.
So,
I know you just joined.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been really good, man, to keep in contact with him, and he was genuinely one of the coaches. And I had a couple of coaches in Warren too that believed in me too. But he was definitely one of the ones, man, that like was like, hey, man, like you still can do this. Like you got your kid, you got your whatever. And I'll forever be grateful for that, man, because like he definitely showed a lot of love. And like I said, I remember that story like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
man.
you know, it's funny, bro. You know, Coach Ginn, I always call him like, you know, maybe like the highest angel ever, man, because you know, everyone has like different stories on like how they ended up meeting him or how they ended up, just crossing routes or whatever. And for me, you know, I went to Warrensville first, and my coach at, during my junior season at Warrensville, my coach, his name was Devlin Culliver. Coach Culliver, he used to coach at Shaw before Warrensville. He decided to take a job at Painesville Harvey. So he knew that. And that's how Rat ended up transferring to Painesville. But I'll get to that. So when he found out he was taking a job at Painesville, he knew that I wouldn't be able to go to Painesville. But he didn't want me to stay at Warrensville because he didn't trust the coaches coming after that. And I was already being recruited by like Mac schools, and I think I had maybe like 2 or 3 Mac offers already. But he didn't want my recruiting to go in shambles because you know the coaches. He didn't know the coaches, so he was like, "Man, you need to transfer to Glenville. I'll take you down, down there and introduce you again and all that." So he took me down there to Glenville and introduced me again, and we hit it off because I went to Cleveland Public Schools from kindergarten to 8th grade. So, I went to Whitney Young in middle school. So we played Patrick Henry and FDR and Harry Davis and, just all those Audubon and Nathan Hill. So Ginn remembered me from middle school because I was real good at basketball and soccer because I was too big to play football. So I played everything, soccer, basketball, track. I did whatever I could because I was too big for mini league until I got to high school. So Ginn remembered me, man. We hit it off. And once I transferred, it was just immediate, obviously he coached me hard and he treated me. I had my father in my life, but he was my second dad, man. And he always would check on me, once I went to Iowa and just anything that he could do, man. And I feel like he treated every kid the same. And that's what I respect about him so much. It was never no favoritism or no nepotism. Like he treated everybody the same, and he gave effort towards every kid. So for any kid or any guy to say that Ginn played him or Ginn and do this again, you know that's cap.
Oh yeah, no, it is. And like I said, man, like I said, for me to be, you know what I'm saying, a year and a half removed out of high school, and this is during the track meet. Like track meet just finished up. Yeah. And for him to be like, hey, he said, man, you want to go to Grambling? He's like, man, I can get you to Grambling right now. I'm like, damn, like that, like, you know what I'm saying? And during the whole state championship track meet going on, and for him to extend himself like that, man, like that's one of the stories, man, I'll never forget, man. Like,
definitely, man. He's such a real one, man. And to be honest, man, I'm glad he's still with us for sure.
Oh yeah. And that's one of them guys, like, man, you got to definitely give your flowers to, you know what I'm saying, why he's still here, man, like, for sure.
Oh, man, definitely, bro. So talk about, man, your transition. I know you said, from Warren you went to Toledo, and then you experienced the turbulence. It didn't work out, and I know you ended up having your daughter. Shout out to her. Then you matriculated. You're supposed to go to Alabama, but your grades weren't right, and you matriculated to Alabama A&M. If you can compare – the MAC school from Toledo to the HBCU in Alabama, and then like, what were some similarities? What were some differences?
Honestly, it wasn't no similarity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go to Toledo, when I went to Toledo, like, man, they had us in the brand new dorms. Like, we had meal plans. We could eat as much as we want.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Facilities was cool. Man, they was giving us cell phones and rocket dollars, and we could go swipe and go to the little stores with our little student IDs. Like,
I used to love that.
It was night and day, man, compared to like, and that was like a struggle for real, man. Like, it was a struggle. Like, just from like the eating, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no meal plans for real. It wasn't like no supplements and proteins and all that stuff like you get. Facilities was like very minimal. The accessibility of the facilities was very minimal. Like, you just can't go in and grind and you know how when you go to your max schools and up, like, you got like more than one strength and conditioning coach. Like, you got like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, one.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that was again, all of that was an adjustment, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, man, like, our weight room was so small. Like, and
was your
man, shout out.
Was your ego hit at all going from a university like Toledo and then going to a university like Alabama A&M? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you were empowered because you were amongst a bunch of black people, but like, did you lose any confidence because you felt like you did it feel like you took a step back? I did.
I didn't necessarily lose confidence. I came in, I was like in my bag. Like,
listen, I'm in it. So I'm about to take this bitch over. Yeah.
What? I was in my bag.
Yeah.
And then I went to that first day of camp and it was 110 degrees, and I'm like, okay, then now this hit different.
Alabama heat different.
I was like, this hit different. But yeah, man, it definitely wavered though a little bit because when you see, you know, it was actually a lot of like good players. Like, when I first got there, man, we had a linebacker that got drafted. Like,
Yeah.
And as I really started to like really, you know, buy into the program, I started really. I got to work out with Robert Mathis a couple times.
Yeah. Okay, because he went there, right? He went there.
He went to A&M.
He was an animal too with them spin moves.
I got to work out with him. Crazy.
Yeah.
And John Stallworth actually came and spoke to a couple of us at camp.
Okay.
So I think that was really cool, and I really kind of kept my hindsight as regards like, hey, you know what, I might have potential to go ahead and make something happen out after A&M. So
definitely.
Yeah, man, it was cool.
So talk about just like your draft process. I know you got the opportunity with the Washington Redskins and a couple other teams as well. So just talk about, you know, graduating from an HBCU and just kind of the NFL process. Were you hearing from any teams? I know you were continuing to train. I'm sure you probably went crazy at your pro day. Were you hearing from any teams? And once you got the opportunity with the Washington Redskins, did you know that was coming, or were you talking to other teams? Because you know it's always everybody's story is so different.
You gonna hear from about 20 teams, and it's gonna probably be 3 of them that's like interesting for real.
Yeah.
But man, I feel like, so I actually, man, I don't know if I should go on record saying this, but I actually had like a potential agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, going into my senior year, like, I had a guy that I was talking to all of the time. And the thing that where I dropped the ball is he had like this little workout set up for me where I could actually get my name out prior to going into my senior season. But I missed the opportunity because I ain't even had no money to go out there. To go out to Florida. But the whole process, like, it's real political when you go to the HBCU. It's all about you having the right agent, you putting the right numbers up, and really you just showcasing yourself the best as you can. So when you do have the right agent, it's going to be a lot easier sell than you just going with a lower tier agent and then just going from there. But I was invited to Ohio State's Pro Day from like 3 scouts. So I went out there. I ran a 4.65. I had a 34-inch vert. Only thing I did trash it was my shuttle, but everything else I killed everything. Did 225 26 times. I had a solid pro day, and then I was really what kind of put me over the top as far as really getting some type of exposure for like teams to really consider me either drafting me or, you know, picking me up undrafted free agent. Because the year that I came out and I got invited to the pro day, Leonidas was coming out. So he was there. Beans Wells was there.
Yep.
Malcolm Jenkins was there.
Loaded.
Hardline was there.
It was loaded.
Loaded. So I'm over there like, I'm geeked. I'm over here. I got my shirt off. I'm like, oh, I'm about to kill him. I'm like, I got everybody here. NFL Network was there.
Yeah.
All 32 teams was there. I'm like, I'm about to eat this up.
Yes, sir.
I said, I'm about to eat this up. So I killed my 40, ran the 4.65. That's what really got me really on the radar. And from there, man, it was just that. And then I got signed by the Redskins, the undrafted free agent. That was a good experience, though, man. But the only thing was, it was a political thing. So Arakbo came and got drafted that year.
That was that year.
We played the same position.
3-4 outside linebacker. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So he came out the same year I did. So
he was an animal when he came out of Texas.
Animal.
Oh my God. And you know we as guys, so I can always appreciate a dude with the spin moves and the low shoulders and the bull rushes and the work to a third, and he was crazy. So So once you got in the camp, man, I'm sure y'all was competing.
Like, man, I come out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had to compete against him. And we had some studs, man. Chris Wilson.
Yeah,
he played. He was there. Yeah. He was a dog too.
Yeah.
We had some dogs on our team. Hainsworth was still there.
Yeah.
We had some dogs. Like, man, that's
was that what like what did that feel like, bro? I mean, because obviously, you know, as growing up in Ohio is a football state. All of our goals and ambitions, that's what we want to do. We want to make it to the NFL, whether we get drafted, whether we undrafted free agent. We want to get an opportunity to compete. So for you to be able to get an opportunity to compete, put that helmet on, line up versus all these all pro guys, go against all pro offensive linemen, be teammates with all these awesome defensive linemen, and just catch that game. Was it like a surreal moment for you, or you couldn't really bathe in it while you was in it because you was grinding, you was practicing?
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't even get a chance to really bathe and like kind of soak it in because, like, you know, when you got that overall goal of like being on a 53-man roster, like,
right, you grinding.
It's cool.
You
got in the door, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I need to go ahead and make this my home. Like, I don't need to be a visitor. Like, you know, the hotel stays is cool.
Exactly.
But no, I need to be, you know, like set up.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But it was a lot. It was a lot. That whole camp process is probably one of the most stressful environments that you can be in ever.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
and it's so, and what makes it really frustrating is that you like, damn, this is like day to day for me. Mm-hmm. And then you look at all the vets and they laughing and joking,
they
cooling,
chilling,
and you just like you in there like, man, damn, am I gonna go home today?
Yeah, it's my last day. Yeah,
man, what? Like, man, I'm telling you, man, if everybody want to be a football player until they know what come with it, man.
I'm telling you,
it's a whole other type of grind.
Yes, sir.
A whole other type of grind.
And you know that, man. Any moment stand out to you, you know, during your time with the Redskins?
For me, it was being in that stadium, man. Like being in that whole DC atmosphere. That whole DMV area, like, is like really diehard through and through Redskins, like, fans, and to be in that type of atmosphere, man, was something that I'd never forget. And it was so crazy. Like, my head coach at A&M actually played on the Super Bowl team to run the Redskins.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I said when the Redskins won the Super Bowl, like when Doug Williams was the quarterback. My head coach at A&M was actually one of the tight ends that won the Super Bowl there. So,
wow, that's dope.
That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, man. So just talk about, you know, your next moves after.
We got to talk about our great.
Oh, you know that? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Did you get any more NFL opportunities after the Redskins? Did you matriculate to the CFL? Just talk about your opportunities after the Redskins.
So man, I really got to meet a lot of people, man, like for me going to different like practice squads and trials and stuff like that. And really just maximize all the relationships that I had while I was there.
Yeah.
From connecting with different people in the NFLPA, to building relationships with other players so they can help me push my brand or whatever support that I needed. Yeah. Shout out to my dog, Charles Grant, man. He's like number one draft pick. Went to the Saints, won a Super Bowl. Man, we still good friends to this day, man. Like, and he really helped me push through a lot of the adversities I was going through while I was playing, and even afterwards too, man. So, but yeah, I got the Ghost Shoppers delivery. I started that in 2015 in Cleveland. Started that. We service all of the downtown Cleveland area doing grocery delivery and chefs services. I have Lions Den Beer Collection, whereas the men's grooming line started that 2018. And I have a project management consultant company too. So we do like different projects where we do project management for construction sites and different renovation sites as well. So
that's dope, bro. So talk about, because I know, you know, we played together in we played together in 2013, you know, in the Green Bay. So I mean, that for me, I was freshly coming out of college. I was trying to get some film to send to my agent to send to these NFL teams. So talk about how you ended up getting that opportunity. Did you stop playing for a while, but you still had that hunger for the game? You still wanted to play? Because I know that, you know, that's when we met, and we obviously hit it off like that. Talk about that time in between, because I know you have been playing arena for a couple of teams between that, but also CFL tryouts, just, you know, just on that grind.
Yeah. So this was like when I was bouncing around, like really like from really like 2011, well, like really like 11 and 12, like I had a couple like trials where I had like a couple camp workouts, a couple like you know what I'm saying, practice squad. I was on couple practice squads and stuff like that. And my agent was like, man, Green Bay wants you. They was like, man, Packers want you, whatever. They got what's my dude, Wolf? Is it Wolf? That's one of the scouts, Wolf and somebody else, I forgot.
Yeah, Elliot Wolf.
And Elliot. Yep. So Wolf and Elliot, so they was like, man, go ahead, get this film. We just, you know, we can go ahead and see you local, So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and go. And man, I liked, man, the team that we had. We had an amazing team.
Exactly.
It just was the coaches, man. It was just like, man, we had
a lot of talent. Like, we had a bunch of talent.
We had Gerard. We had Darius. We had like
we had a squad,
some hitters for real. Like
BJ Hill, he played offense and defense. We did.
Man, we had a squad, man. And we had old buddy, what's his name? Mike, that went to Arizona. Mike Turner.
Mike Turner.
The light-skinned dude. We had him. He played with Grunt. Yeah, he played with Grunt. We had a squad, man.
We had a squad. It's crazy, man. I ended up playing that whole season, but man, people don't know, bro. Arena football. When I say that shit tore my body up, bro. Arena football, man. It's like, cause you hitting guys in the walls, and you know you playing on basically carpet, and it's cement under the carpet, man. It's just that shit just wear and tear on your body, man.
It's right. So what do you feel about that experience? Do you think that was helpful, or you just think like, man, it should have just been a wrap?
Yeah, no. I mean, for me, I definitely think it was helpful, because at that point I had some fresh film to give to my agent. So when he's shopping me around, I think in 2013, 14, he can say, okay, this is LeBron in 2013, instead of showing my film from Iowa from 2012, 2011, 2010, because, you know, all those scouts, they want to see present film. So when I decided
what you did for me lately.
Exactly. So when I moved to Atlanta, kind of like trying to be strategic, I'm thinking like, okay, cool. Let me just get a job, work to obviously pay bills. But I knew that there would be a lot of CFL, you know, opportunities, like as far as camps and tryouts because they come to those bigger cities. They come to Atlanta and Miami and LA.
Right.
We wouldn't be able to really access that if we had stayed in Ohio or Cleveland.
Right.
So I was like, man, I was like, let me come here. And I literally, bro, from 2014 to 15, I literally tried out for damn near every CFL team. Like, I kid you not, bro. Ottawa, Saskatchewan, like Calgary, literally damn near everyone. And it's crazy. They all told me the same thing. Ryan, you a hell of a player. We love your film. We love what you did at the workout. Shit, injury strike, you gonna be the first guy we call. The same, you know how it goes.
Oh man, I know, man, and that's why I said it's such a political game, man. Like,
exactly,
everybody think like, okay, I can put up these numbers and be good.
And what's crazy,
it's way much more than that.
What's crazy, and what I noticed being in Atlanta, it was like, I'm thinking like, I went to a Big Ten school, so I'm thinking, maybe somebody will give me an opportunity. But when you in the South, people don't even care about Big Ten. Like, they only care about SEC, ACC. Now, if I had said Clemson or South Carolina or Georgia or something, then they would have been, oh. But I said, I'm like, I went to Iowa. They like, the first question they asked me is, well, everybody asked, what you doing down here? You went to Iowa? Are you from Cleveland? What you doing in the South? What you like? It was more like, oh, you from the Midwest? What you doing out here? It was more so that. So it's crazy, and a lot of guys don't know that. They think they go to these big schools, but it also depends on what region you in, where you working out as well.
Yeah. And another thing, man, that whole that arena ball, man, just make sure you have a plan. It's a difference. If you love the game, that's cool.
Right.
But if you're trying to really get yourself in the next level, you got to be very strategic.
Oh, you gotta be
that arena ball. You have to be strategic. Because I ain't tell you, man. When I left Green Bay, when I was playing with you, the coach dogged me. He oh, he just gonna go ahead and ball like that and just leave, and he trashed me to the Packers. Packers ain't gonna be bothered with no more, man. Packers.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man. Your boy Elliott hit me up man, I want to ride with you, but I talked to your coach, and he said, wherever you go outside of here, your film really ain't going to be, good film because of your competition. It ain't going to be where it's at. So, he dragged me, man.
That's crazy when coaches do that.
But, the reason I left is just, what I'm saying, the way everything was ran, it was we was back in college for real.
Right. That's what it felt like.
Hey, man,
it was,
come
man,
on now.
That experience was crazy, bro.
Man, it was crazy. Man, we had a whole that whole was a whole dorm set, man. The sum of my experience, it was man, we was off campus apartments,
exactly.
But we were still in school, the same struggles, the same everything,
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember sitting in my room and just thinking, man, what am I doing?
But that's what I'm saying.
What am I really doing here?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then you see people really trying to get to the league or get back to the league, and then you got people out here that's on the team working 9 to 5.
Exactly.
So it's you know what I'm saying?
It's a weird thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's a weird mixture of people. You got this small group of ambitious people that's trying to get to the league, get to the CFL, and really progress. And then you got other people oh, this is just what I do. This is cool. Right. I go work, and then I come in after practice. After work, and I go practice.
So weird. So
it changes the dynamic of the team. You know what I'm saying?
And at the time, I think I was hella young, bro. I was probably 24. So I'm I'm in that ambitious group. I'm man, I'm here to ball.
But it's so funny that all of us hung together though. The whole ambitious group all hung together.
Yeah.
It wasn't it was one or two. It was literally everybody that either went to a big school or went to the league or trying to go to the league. We all stuck together. Exactly. And it was so crazy.
Exactly, man. That's an experience for the books for sure. So, bro, talk about if you can remember, man. Talk about maybe the day or maybe time period that you said, all right, man, I'm getting older or just I haven't got the opportunity in a while. I'm probably gonna hang it up, man, because I still remember the day for me. And I can be honest, man. Like, you know, it wasn't a good day. It wasn't a good month.
Yeah.
because you know, I felt like I underachieved. I felt like I never put on that NFL helmet. I never got to compete at the highest level, and that's literally why I started playing at the age of 8. So it took me some time to get over it, man. And then I had to kind of reinvent myself. I had to figure out what I was passionate about outside of football. So how was that experience for you? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? Did you know what you wanted to did you know what you wanted to go into right after, or
hell no, I did. I think in a piggyback off what you was saying, I think as an athlete and a you know, a really top tier athlete, you always want to do stuff on your terms when it goes to sports. Like you want to go ahead and, you know, you want to go ahead and work for it, earn it, and then you know it's gonna come. But like when you go and when you go and you be in a pro level, it's all political. It's not. It's kind of out of your hands.
Right.
So when somebody really takes your hands away from you as far as your ability to go ahead and choose and say, well, hey, you know what, I'm not getting signed, or somebody like, you know, it's out of your hands. And when you really be in that vulnerable state, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? To really be in a place where like you can't really make nobody pick you up. You can't make nobody give you a look. You can't make nobody go ahead and do it, regardless of however numbers, how good your numbers is, or how good your attributes are. It's just really out of your control. And when you really see like, okay, you know what, I'm not getting no hits no more or whatever, when it comes to these trials and these camps and stuff like that, like it's definitely hard. Like it's a hard transition, like because you go and you grind and you really put all of your eggs in this basket, because at the end of the day, if this basket pays off, it can change your life.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? A lot of you're gonna put all those eggs in, and you ain't gonna really be thinking like, okay, well, if this don't work, I can go X, Y, and Z. And I think that's what kind of also made us go as hard, because we put all our eggs in that basket.
Exactly.
But for me, like I was man, I went to the chiropractor, man, and I went to the chiropractor, and my shoulder was messed up even when I was in Green Bay. Like the first game, I was like strapped up. Like they had to fit this whole sleeve when I played with you. Like I was strapped up.
I remember that.
And and then like I had did a physical, man, for the Browns. And the coach, and I remember this like it was yesterday. He was like, man, you ain't about to play no more. Like I had 3 knee surgeries, messed my thumb up playing arena ball. My shoulder was bad when I was in Green Bay. He was like, man, if you want to play with your kids, you gonna have to sit it down.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, I was like,
wow,
it's a wrap. Like this is my thumb right now. Like this is all football, like deformed hands, like
I'm telling
all
you.
of that. Like
football
like,
is a crazy sport, man. It
is. And I see people play it, man. It's just like, I can't believe I used to throw my body around.
Right. And I ain't gonna hold you, man. I feel lucky nowadays, man, because I only had one surgery. I tore my pec, bench press. Well, I had 2, because after I got the MRI, they found out that I had a torn labrum as well. So I got my labrum and my pec repaired. So I had 2 surgeries, but I feel lucky, man. I didn't get any. I never hurt anything in my lower extremities. I know you said you had three knee surgeries.
Yeah.
I never hurt I hurt my ankle really bad. I had a really bad high ankle sprain, but I didn't have to get surgery. So I just feel lucky because I never had an ACL. I never had an Achilles. I never had an ankle or a foot or neck or just, you know, so playing in the trenches for so many years.
Because Gerard tore his ACL
on the first play.
Game.
The first play of the preseason. Yep.
Tore his ACL, man, and he had like a couple big little workouts like set up. Like,
Yep.
And tore his like.
I'm telling you, man, that injury bug, man, that's why I say now, you know, I'm in my 30s and you know, like I said, I feel lucky. Let me ask you this, bro. Do you ever miss the game? Like if you, because I watch college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday, and you know, if I see a good pass rush or a low shoulder or good rip or a spin, I'd be like, ooh, like
I know.
I miss it for like a couple of seconds.
and what's so crazy, man, I missed that part of the game. And that's another thing. I'm glad you said that. Like, I feel like that's also a very big disconnect from HBCUs to top tier schools is the coaching.
Yeah.
Like the coaching that I learned just from me being in camps and practice squads and stuff from an NFL level,
Mm-hmm.
I was playing catch up from all of these guys is coming from these top power 5 schools is already learning all of these techniques and hand swipes and all these pass rush moves.
Yeah.
And I had to go ahead and really catch up, like, to be to that level. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, man, I love seeing, like, man, a lot of these dudes, man, they killing it. Like,
right.
And now it's more of a passing game. So it's
exactly.
Like,
so it's more opportunities to get sacks.
This is what I love to do. So it's just like, damn, like, I'd be mad. I'd be like, damn, I could go out here and ball, because this is what they're already doing, is passing the ball now.
Right.
So
Right. I got 2 more questions, bro. Where did the creative diaspora come for you to be able to create your businesses, right? Like you said, you did the Ghost Shoppers back in 2015. That's before Uber Eats came out. That's before Instacart came out. And then you did the Lions Den beer collection 2018, just really servicing men's beards and making it cool for Black men to take care of their beards, or just a man in general to take care of their beards. Where did that creative diaspora come from? Because as an entrepreneur, you have to have some kind of creativity to be able to identify what you like, what you're passionate about, and then figure out how to monetize that into your own brand.
Right. So for me, a big thing is that I hate going grocery shopping. I'm a person like, I can operate in big crowds, but I don't really care to be around a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I used to hate going to the grocery store. So I'm like, man, why don't I just find somebody that can go ahead and deliver the groceries, and then, and then too, I was like, okay, I can go ahead and get a chef that can come and cook. So, like, I ain't got to leave the house. Like, I ain't got to leave the house for nothing. And then, as you know, Cleveland weather we have our months or our years where
it's real
you
bad.
go outside and it's coming to your knees, like, overnight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So between having those factors from the elements as well as, convenience, I'm like, man, this would be dope to have this concept where I can go ahead, people can work, doctors, lawyers, they got all these crazy schedules, and now I'm creating a convenience for them.
Yeah.
And also now they got chefs that can come and cook. So they literally good from the time, that the people show up. So that's how I came up with Ghost Shoppers.
Yeah.
And with Lions Den, I found myself buying, like, product after product after product.
And it wasn't working.
And it wasn't working. So I was like, I'm like, man, let me go and see, how I can really make my own. So I went and did some research, made my own, got up with a chemist. They kind of helped me tweak some stuff.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just took off, man. So
that's dope.
We've been on Sprite. We've been with Jeezy. We've been all type of different platforms and stuff, man. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah, I still got my thick beard, man. I'm seeking to tap in with you real quick, man. I gotta I gotta tap in with the Lions Den. And even I was thinking, just creatively, like, man, even if I could, buy a slew of products and maybe have you on a few episodes as a sponsor where I kind of walk through how I use it and how well it works for me. I think that'd be cool, as a collaborative effort.
I'm gonna definitely send you some stuff, and then maybe you can just do like a giveaway or whatever. You can give it to one of your guests or people that tap into it.
Definitely, man. Just trying to be creative and figure out ways for us, as we continue to go on our journeys to collaborate and it's all positive and good energy and stuff like that, man. So definitely, man. Last question, bro. What would you say?
Man. And I definitely just wanted to applaud you, man, on your podcast, man. You doing your thing for sure, man.
I appreciate it.
And it's so crazy. It's so crazy to see. I was just gonna say, it's so crazy to see, like, like, where you at, and, like, Otis, a police officer now, Columbus, and when he was living, how he was doing his thing, and how everybody just progressing, man. And as they continue to grow older, man, everybody's making better moves, wiser moves, and growing, man. So
man, I'm
I
telling
definitely
you,
just
bro.
hats off to y'all, man, because it's so crazy just to see where everybody at. You know, it's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
from so far back.
You
It's
know?
yeah, I can attest to that, man. And before I ask you the last question, I mean, and you can answer this if you want to. If you don't, we can move on. But when the situation happened with Rat, how did it affect you? Because I never really talked about it to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know this, but Rat actually got me my first job, like post college. We both were shuttle drivers at the Marriott in Beechwood. I couldn't find anything, bro. I was in a dark place. I'm applying for jobs everywhere. I couldn't find nothing. And he had called me and to ask me what I was into. And I'm like, man, bro, I'm struggling. I'm out here. I'm about to go crazy. He's like, bro, come like you get this hourly, you get tips for taking people. He got me on in like 3 days, bro. And we worked together for like 8 months. But literally before I met you, before I went to Green Bay and he went to Kansas City to play arena ball in Kansas City, we worked together. And then I went to Green Bay. That's when we met. And then Rat went to Kansas City to play arena ball in Kansas City. And God bless the dead, man. But I just feel like he was such a thorough, real guy. And I feel like he really tried to look out for his people. You know what I'm saying? So if you can,
man,
if you can just kind of go into detail about it, or
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you really two stories that really probably everybody don't know. Yeah. I was actually supposed to be with him that night.
Okay.
I was supposed to be with him. He damn near was like, he's like, man, come out, man, come out. And I seen him literally that same night that all that had went down. He was like, man, come out. This is my last night kicking it to my birthday, because birthday November. So
that's what he told me. He was laying low. And I'm like, man, he wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah. So he was like, man, come on. I'm like, man, I was like, man, I had to go work out in the morning or something. I'm like, man, I'm cool.
Yeah.
So I end up getting a call the next morning. And I'm talking about, like, so many different thoughts went through my head, because it was like, if I was there, I could have alleviated.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If I was there, could have been me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If I was there, you know what I'm saying? I could have just not even told him to go to the West Side.
Exactly.
Because, you know what I'm saying, at the time, I never really knew him to really be on the West Side like that.
Me either.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when I heard he was at the hookah spot, I'm like, what
I was
going over there? Like,
that's the first thing I thought too.
Over there. I knew him I was to be off of Buckeye. You know what I'm saying? I've always a Buckeye. That's what I always thought. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I'm like, what is he doing way over here? Because even when I went there after the fact, I was like, what is he doing over here? Like, So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, man, like, that was going through my head. Like, could have deterred it? You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted me to go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I'd have went, maybe it could have been different. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. So for a minute, man, that was rough. Like, that was a rough patch for me, because it was like, I literally seen him that night. Yeah. And he asked me to go out with him that night. So I could have been one of the casualties as well. You know what I'm saying? And that was mind blowing to have to go through that.
Exactly.
And again, like, and to piggyback off what you said, man, like, literally give you the shirt off his back. Like, I got into it when I was going through some stuff in my relationship, and he was like, man, listen, if you need, I got the attic. If you want to go chill up in the attic or whatever and chill out till everything's smooth out of the crib, you good. Go ahead. Yeah. Like, he'll come scoop me, like, hey, we're gonna go to the spot. I'm gonna come pick you up. You ain't gotta come pick me up. Or just little small stuff like that. But he always gave everybody the shirt off his back, man. And it was rough, man, like, going through that shit. All right. Yeah. And it happened so fast. Yeah. It was like, I seen him Friday, and then boom, he gone, and I'm looking at him in a casket. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a week's time. And it was just like, it put a lot of shit in perspective for me, like, seeing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Transpire like that.
And it's crazy, man, because me and Rat go back to like 06 or 05, because he ended up going to Painesville Harvey and transferring to Painesville Harvey. Like, when I transferred to Glenville, he was already at Glenville, but some shit had happened in the streets, and just to make sure he was safe, he transferred to Painesville Harvey. and then he was coached by my old coach, Coach Culliver. So that's when we first met. But then he went on again tour.
Right, right.
He went on again tour with us, and we was tight like that ever since. And then we kept in contact during college, and then once he went to Kansas State and started balling, we kept in contact. And then I was sending him some agent contacts. He was sending me some agent contacts during the draft process, trying to figure out who he was gonna sign with. And then, like I say, when the draft didn't work out, I moved back to Cleveland. He moved back to Cleveland. He got me my first job after college, man. We worked together for 8 months before we left to play arena ball. And I remember he had texted me like 2 weeks before that. He just asked me how Atlanta was going, because at the time I was in Atlanta. He was like, man, I'm about to come down there. I'm gonna come down there and kick it. He had never been. I was like, yeah, just let me know. Whenever you come, and I'll make sure you set up. Never thinking that was gonna be my last time talking to him. You know what I mean? So it was just it's just crazy, just knowing his journey.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really kind of fucked me up, is that I know how active he was in CC's life and Dilly's life, and how they meant the world to him. You know what I'm saying? And to see all of that shit, like, man, that was rough, man. Like, because I used to go over there with him, like, and kick it with him, and spend time with baby girl and stuff. And man, that was rough, man. Like, that was a really rough time for me, man. Like, I ain't even like an overly emotional dude. Yeah, but it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was rough. Like, that was a rough time. That was a rough patch, man.
Yeah, it's just a shocker, man, when you see somebody that you really, really, truly know, and you've been knowing for a long time, to see that kind of stuff happen. And it's like, but obviously, as we both know, that's just kind of the culture. That's the culture. That's kind of the shit that go on. Where we from in the state of Ohio and Cleveland, Northeast Ohio in general, man. So it's just, but it's just,
and the thing is, it's like that, but it's like, but it was different with him though.
Exactly.
And I say it was different with him because he graduated college. Yeah. He got a fiance.
Exactly.
He's taking care of his family. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to do his food truck. He had the little world venture stuff going on. Like, he had different stuff, and he was very passionate. And you know that, like, if he's passionate about something, like, he gonna run it into the ground, like, regardless of whatever it is, whether it's football, his business stuff, his job, whatever.
Exactly.
And to see that type of character guy taken away so senselessly, man.
I know, man.
That's what, like,
and then
really
like
messed me up.
Exactly. And then, like, when you find out what really happened and how it happened, how it went down, that shit just put a nasty taste in your mouth, man. It's just senseless hating, like, just like.
And then the thing is, the dude only got like what, like 9 years, if that.
Yeah, like something like 10 or 11, like nothing crazy though, which is crazy to me.
And man, that was rough, man. And you talked to Zoe?
No, I haven't talked to him probably since a little bit after that happened. Because Rat had introduced me to him while we was working together. I hadn't met Zoe yet, but when Rat signed with the inner arena team in Kansas City, he was like, yeah, I'm about to go to Kansas City, play arena. I'm living with my brother. My brother been in Kansas City. He played for the Chiefs for a while, and then he called him and introduced me to him. But I hadn't, like, met him yet. We had just talked on the phone, you know what I'm saying, because me and Rat worked together. But I hadn't talked to him, man. But it was definitely on the list. We were supposed to link up at some point. But, man, it just was – I couldn't believe it. Because like you said, man, we was on the same path. We all went to college. We all graduated. We all were just trying to do, just make ourselves better, make our families better, and just kind of figure life out. But, we was all on that same kind of path, still wanting to play football, but also trying to figure life out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was so crazy. Like, I be coming across pictures, and it's just like, damn, it's just like, that's one of the ones, like, it's just like, man, that's one of the ones that always forever just leave, everlasting impact, man.
Exactly. I agree, man. I totally agree. So last question, bro.
Yeah.
What would you say is Byron Wilson's after effect through all these 20 plus years of the wins, the losses, transferring from different places, having all these NFL and CFL and practice squad opportunities, arena ball, create your own businesses, all the wins, all the losses, all the all the racism, the nepotism, the injuries, like you say, the surgeries. What were some lessons that you learned that you even try to ingratiate into your kids right now, and also try to ingratiate, into the next culture as we try to push the generation forward?
I would say the biggest thing is preparation. The more prepared that you are earlier, the easier that it's going to be for you later. Right. So like the more preparation and the more work that you put in the beginning is going to make your load a lot easier moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'd have put more effort in high school, my college experience would have been better. If my college experience would have been better, then my NFL experience probably would have been better just because of that preparation from high school. So really, you know what I'm saying, really going and also too the really the biggest thing that I had to learn, especially when being in the HBCU, is that whenever you are chasing greatness, you're going to be alone. Like I didn't that was the biggest adjustment that I had to really understand when I started really like climbing up, is that, if everybody was great, you know what I'm saying, everybody be doing the same thing. Right. Everybody's not doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you got, everybody that's at an elite level is doing elite level stuff. And it's only a select elite level. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So everybody else is, they's doing the same old, they doing the same stuff. Yep. And when you start getting up there, the group start getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Yep. And even like when I was at A&M, like my coach always seen me like after practice, I'm doing extra sprints, I'm doing weights, I'm doing extra stuff just every day. And after a while, it started feeling weird to me because I wasn't accustomed to that. Like just working out by myself and being in this island, and I wasn't used to it. And and then as I, you know what I'm saying, going into my senior year, I was a starter, prospect, all this stuff, and I kind of start slacking a little bit because I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of being by myself. Like, I'm grinding. This is weird. I don't like it. Right. And then, you know what I'm saying, I had to turn it back on. Like, my coach was like, man, what happened? Like, you used to do all this stuff by yourself, get this extra work in, and really prepare yourself to get ready for the NFL. What happened? What's going on? And I just told him it just felt weird. Like, no, they don't tell you that. Like, like Kobe said, he go if he put up 30 shots every day. And the average person ain't doing 30 shots. I just made myself better every day, 30 shots more than a person that's not doing those extra 30. Exactly. Or somebody that just did 10 gassers. He just did 10 more gassers every day more than what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So he's already preparing himself to go ahead and be at a better level than me just off by doing this little small work by itself. Right. So, like, man, you definitely got to get used to, if you want to be great, you got to get used to being by yourself, for sure. That's a fact. Because, I mean, you even used to do it. You used to do it when we was at Green Bay. You used to do it all the time. I'm like, who this nigga think he is, man?
Bro, it's so funny because that was just embedded in me, obviously just from a younger age, but even at Iowa, we always did extra work. We always did developmental work. I always lifted extra weights after the weight session was over. I always did extra get off drills or hand drills or just whatever. So it was just embedded in me to do that. And even now, it's funny that you say when you're chasing greatness, you got to know and understand that you're gonna be alone. Because I remember not last Christmas, but Christmas before that, when I first started getting into acting, and I was working in finance, I had my salary job. I'm doing pretty well, but for some reason I had an interest in storytelling. I had an interest in stories and telling stories. So that's really why I started acting. And of course, it started off with just background stuff and building my resume, finding an agent, and headshots, just learning the industry because I had never did nothing like that. But I remember my dad was like blown away because my dad Kinsman. He the hoodest 50-year-old dude you gonna meet. He a Kinsman dude. So he don't even talk that talk. Like he like, dude, like
Right.
He like, bro, like he like LeBron. It's okay to be normal. Like that's what he told me. It's okay to be normal. And at
And you
first,
gonna hear that.
and at first I was like, Dad, you're right, because this my father, this my old man, this somebody that I always looked up to. But I thought about it for like 10 minutes. And then like I said, I'm like, Dad, like, I'm like, you literally just told me literally the opposite of how you raised me. like you
Right.
never, like you never raised me to be normal. You never raised me to just be okay with a job and just live my life. You always raised me to be have courage and to go for what I wanted, to go after whatever interest I wanted to do, to at least try something, to try some new stuff, to do this, to do that. You never raised me to just be normal. And then once I said that to him, he thought about it, he was like, damn, you're right. He was like, he was like, you're right. He like, I should have said that. Don't even remember that. I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna remember it now.
Right.
but it's so funny that you said like get used to when you chasing greatness, get used to doing it alone. And I remember Will Smith said that too on one of his interviews. Like you gotta do it alone. You're gonna get some good advice from your parents or some good friends. They're gonna tell you some things that you can hold on to. But you're gonna have to do it alone sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put in that work alone and just believe in that what you see with your vision is your vision and it makes sense in your head. And like, you know what I mean? So that's cool that you said that.
And yeah, and that's the thing. And I think like understanding that at an early age is what's gonna really put you over the top. Like if you understand that your vision for you at an early age, like, man, like sky's the limit. Like, it ain't gonna nothing deter you from it. Like, if you know, like, look, this is what I want to do. This is my plan. I'm gonna rock with it. It ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna shake you off of it.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Well, I appreciate you carving out the time, man. I know it's late, and I know you got a lot going on. But before we get offline, man, before we get offline, bro, I've been priding myself on giving guys flowers while they still here. 2020 has been a super weird year. We've been losing people left and right. I mean, we going on our 10th month of COVID, bro. And so I'm just proud of myself on giving guys flowers while we still here. So I want to tell you face up, bro, man to man, that I'm super, super proud of you, man. All your accomplishments, all your accolades, all your creative business endeavors, all your business ventures. I mean, you literally been putting a battery in my back for a while now to identify what I'm passionate about and try to figure out how I can monetize on some things as well. So I just want to tell you face up, man to man, that I'm proud of you, man. Keep going. Keep putting on.
Appreciate it, bro.
Keep putting on for our state of Ohio, man. And I'm gonna need you to kind of give me some game on the cigar game and all that. I see you be on the cigars and all that.
Come on, man. Yeah, no, for sure, man. We gonna have to get, man. We gonna have to go get one together, man. We got to be socially distant and all that, but we gonna make sure we get one in, man. But again, man, I appreciate you, man. And if you need anything, man, let me know. I'm a phone call away though, for sure.
Oh yeah, you know that, man. Well, I appreciate you again. Have a good night, man. Blessings to you and your family, your kids, man. I hope you all continue to stay safe. I know it's about to get cold this week, so man, it's been weird. It's been weird. We got to wear our masks, got to wear our hats, man.
Man, they said the low gonna be 27 degrees, man.
I'm like, damn, we about to be back in Cleveland.
That's a fact.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Well, yeah, man. Again, I appreciate you, bro. And I want to plant this seed earlier. I think I said something to you about it earlier. I want to do because I'm doing a round table in Cleveland. I got some guys. I'm putting some guys together to get some powerful voices all in one room together. But I want to do that down here in Atlanta too. So if you know any former athletes who you think will have some really good opinions and foresights, I want to try to do one of those down here in Atlanta as well, just to get those different opinions on the HBCU experience and transitioning from a college graduate to a professional to an entrepreneur, or to maybe even balancing both as a working professional and an entrepreneur. Just really just trying to push the culture forward, but also have those powerful conversations. Just us as Black men, and again, just trying to give game wherever we can give it.
Yeah, let's do it. Definitely. I got a ton of contacts, and I'm actually gonna be doing something in Cleveland and here too, if you want to be a part of it. So like every year, I adopt a family in like Cleveland for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it here in Atlanta too. So like I don't know where you're gonna be at for the holidays, but
I'll be in Cleveland. Well, I'm flying to Cleveland. I think the 23rd, the night of the 23rd. But yeah, I'll be here in Atlanta until then. But I'll be there for like 4 or 5 days. Then I'll be back. So yeah, we can coordinate and do whatever, man. I'm with it.
Yeah. We can get something together.
Definitely, man. Sounds good.
Man,
we
gotta all link up, man. What Derek's been up to?
Man, working. Just grinding, man. I linked up with him when I first got back, a couple of months ago, and he just kind of staying out the way, man. Just grinding. You know how it is. Just
man, I know it.
Put one foot.
Real estate. Do he got his real estate license?
I think he's working towards it. Like he's supposed to take the test real soon. So I know he's been studying. He's been putting in a lot of work to take the test. So I think that's like his next step is to get his real estate license so he can do his own thing. Yeah. But yeah, we definitely got to link up, man. But we a text phone call away. We can make that happen in no time.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, man. It was definitely good hearing from you, and we're gonna get it in.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, you already know, man. Well, be blessed, bro, and I appreciate you again, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bro. Peace out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, again, guys, that was a super, super, super dope episode 33 with Byron Wilson. As you can see, we go way back, so we just had that close knit brother talk. He's doing this thing on the entrepreneurial side, has several businesses, and has even motivated me to kind of get some things that I've been wanting to do for a while off the ground as well. So thank you for tapping into episode 33. Again, make sure you rate on all podcast apps. Make sure you comment and subscribe on YouTube. Please be on the lookout. I've had some difficulties with my computer and my laptop. So my Patreon account is kind of on hold right now while I try to get my computer repaired. So be patient with that. We still got the merch in production. We will definitely be releasing that before Christmas. So just be on the lookout for that, and be ready and willing to support Black business. When we launch those. So again, appreciate whoever listened to this whole episode of episode 33, and excited to get to episode 34. Until next time, peace.